Well, all right, ladies and gentlemen. Apologies for the tad bit of laziness. I had to get some things ready, and I was also, cleaning up once again. But it's time for more Sakamoto Days. So let's go ahead and get started, shall we? Yo, peoples! Kyushu92 here, and welcome back to yet another Sakamoto Days volume reading. Today we are going to be reading volume 10 of the series titled Reunion. So to bring you up to speed of what's currently going on in the world of Sakamoto, Sakamoto is currently also Medela. Good to see you, Calzone. Good to see you as well. So to catch you up on everything that's been happening, if you weren't here, for those of you who were, then you should probably remember, but I'm just going to do the recap all the same. We're at the JCC. Shin is taking courses, and he's also taking inspiration from a manga called SAKAMOTO Days, which is, tongue-in-cheek. But we also have Sakamoto himself, who is under the disguise of his own wife, thanks to Nagumo and his mastery over disguises. I'm going to be a master of disguise. I'm going to be a master of disguise. If you don't know that movie, thank God. But, Nagumo disguised Sakamoto, and he has 24 hours to look like his wife as both Shin and Sakamoto infiltrate the school in order to find more information on Slur, on X. But at the same time, there's a student at this school by the name of Amane, who has already been recruited by Slur, and his goal is to destroy the JCC records in order to ensure that no one gets any information on him, specifically Sakamoto or anyone else. And Akari is having a hard time, getting acclimated to school life, and she hasn't been able to run into anyone from the exam, including Sakamoto and company as well. So, she's having a hard time. But let's get started with Days 80, Reunion. Ooh, and we have a little cover page here. Also, it turns out that Kanaguri is working with Slur. So, a member of the Order. Have you looked at any of the volume covers? They're my favorite covers of any manga. Yes, since I read from Viz, they display the volume of all these chapters that I read, and all of them are sick. Like, if I go back and go from volume 1 all the way to now, we have Sakamoto and Shin for volume 1. We have Shin and Lu for volume 2 with Sakamoto on an amusement ride. He's eating and drinking on a roller coaster. Then we have Heisuke and Pisuke with Sakamoto sitting in the background on a rooftop. Then for 4, we have Seba. Invisible Seba. Mafuyu's brother. He's going invisible with Kashima in the background on a subway car, and the pictures of Sakamoto and Shin. For volume 5, we have Miss Osaragi and her incredibly deadly circular saw. Then on volume 6, we have Nagumo and his Swiss army weapon, along with his dice. Then in volume 7, we have Gaku and his big old mallet shotgun weapon, whatever it is, which we all know was promptly destroyed by Takamura, Old Man Takamura. Then we have volume 8, where it has Akari, who is, even though she's the skittish type, it shows her brandishing a gun and a knife, and there's blood everywhere, so yeah, it's in her veins. Then for volume 9, we have Toramaru, and she has... And her shrine, like her visage for Sakamoto in his younger days, is behind him, like the whole Bodhisattva, thousand arms of Sakamoto behind her while she's using her rifle axe with her Sakamoto keychain. And then, of course, we are here today with Volume 10, and it shows Slur. White hair, vibrant blue eyes, a light turtleneck, and his white jacket that we've seen him in before. That is the art that we see here. If you guys want to see what I'm seeing, matter of fact, I'll link it in the description, so at the very least, you guys can see what I'm seeing. So real quick, let me do this before we get started with volume 10. But the art for Sakamoto is very well done. I hold it up there with the detail that I see from, well, One Punch Man, because the art for One Punch Man is absolutely insane. But the art here for Sakamoto Days, very well done. Days 80 reunion. And we have, and on this front page, we have Mr. Shishiba, Miss Osaragi, Old Man Takamura, Kanaguri, and we have Hio all, as well on this cover. You gonna let me hit the button? Thank you. And then we have Akari. Oh, she's talking about stuff.
Hello, I'm Akari Akao. Today I'll be introducing some popular JCC part-time jobs.
JCC, Japanese Assassin Training Initiate.
Floaters.
Floaters. Daily wage, 15,000 yen. Danger level, 0.
Floaters are in charge of cleaning and repairing job sites after a job is completed. It's a very popular job. Many hires are referred by a friend or senpai.
Spotters. Daily wage, 20,000 to 50,000 yen. Danger level, B. No assassin's license required. Get referred by a sniper senpai.
Spotters are the sniper psychics. They measure the distance to a target and analyze wind, weather, etc.
And it shows Heisuke in this image with Shin being the spotter and Pisuke off to the side. Test subjects. One test equals 30,000 to 800,000. Broad range. Danger level, S.
Guinea pigs are used to try out new poisons developed in the poisons department. New weapons for the weapons from the weapons production department, and etc. Be careful. Girls in the poisons department who can't find a test subject sometimes mix experimental poisons into Valentine's Day chocolates.
Yeah, I'm a pass. Wait, hold on. Did you hear the news? JJK only has 5 chapters left? What? Ain't no way you're gonna drop this information on me right now. No way! Whoa! What you mean JJK's ending in 5 chapters? Ain't no way you're gonna drop this to me live. Wow! We just got done with My Hero Academia ending, and now JJK is literally not far behind. JJK's only got 5 chapters left! Anime All Day TV, thank you. Thank you for letting me know. We'll talk about it later. We'll talk about it later. Right now, we need to focus on this because as a VOD, people are going to be wondering why did I deviate so much. But yeah, so we have floaters. I'm a focus. I'm gonna get back on track. Anime, dude, wow. Okay, let me go back to it. Let me get back to this. So, we got floaters who make a daily wage of 15,000 yen with minimum danger level. They are literally damage control for whenever an assassination takes place. They're basically, I would like a dinner reservation for 12. They're literally the cleaning crew of the Continental, of the world of assassins. They're literally the cleaning crew that mops up any job that an assassin takes part in. Then you have spotters, who are the people that help a sniper assassin or help snipers out. So, just spotter stuff. And then you have test subjects. And specifically, in this panel, it shows Jerk, who's also being used as a test subject. And fair warning, if you can't get a test subject, the women of this class will mix their poisons in with Valentine's Day chocolate. So, yeah. Make sure you screen every single person from that class before you accept chocolates from them. Just saying. And it also says down here at the bottom, always looking for applicants. Then we get to Kashima, who's speaking with Amane. If you know whose data is in the JCC database, it could be a tad inconvenient. The database. It's like an urban legend around here. Well, they say where there's smoke, there's fire, right? And then we cut to Shin. Shouldn't you be going to class? And it's Seba, our Seba that we know, not Mafuyu. I'll refer to his older brother, Mafuyu's older brother, as Seba, and the other Seba as Mafuyu, since it's both their names, but Research Institute students don't have a lot of classes. Research Institute students? It's like a grad school program. We're above undergrad students like you. Oh, so you're my senpai? Don't tilt that too much, it'll explode. Why didn't you say so earlier? And it shows Shin moving like this little part that has some fluid inside of it. Why didn't you say so earlier? Don't make such dangerous stuff! How long is he going to be hanging around? I finally found you, Natsuki! And that's his name as well, Mafuyu and Natsuki. I finally found you, Natsuki! You melted down my weapon, didn't you? Huh? Oh. Look, it couldn't be helped, senpai. Huh? What do you mean? Well, to create an alloy as pure as that, I'll need skills as refined and sophisticated as yours. I can't do what you do. Oh, I see. Guess it can't be helped. Next time, just talk to me about it, okay? I'll understand. Really? I'm so honored. And it specifically says deadpan underneath this sentence. Man, I need a coffee. Sebacon's that guy the same way all the time. I mean, I get it. If Seba praised me, I'd probably let stuff slide too. Right. What are you talking about? Huh? You don't know? And these are two other people inside of this workshop that walk right up to Shin. Yo, anime! What's going on? Bro, I'm back. Welcome back. Also, let me acknowledge everyone. Oh, I see Snow. Medella, Calzone, Anime All Day, and Anime. SJ, welcome back. We are currently reading Chapter 80 of Sakamoto Days in Volume 10. What are you talking about? Huh? You don't know? As an undergrad, Seba had the top graduation project of his class. Plus, he was the first weapons production department student in 15 years to win the coveted Yoshimura Prize. He's a genius. A genius? Him? They only award the Yoshimura Prize to a few graduates each year from across the departments. Most often, it's someone from the assassin department. Oh, but that invisibility suit of his was so high impact. The weapons teachers were thrilled. He made that thing himself, huh? Oh, interesting. So the invisible suit that Natsuki was using against Shin during the whole underground... I am Annie Bro, just change my name. Well, I can't know unless you tell me beforehand. So the invisibility suit that Natsuki was using against Shin in the underground laboratory was something of its own making. It's not... Here I thought it was something that the scientists made down there when they were, being forced to work with Kashima. I thought they made it, but he made that himself. Yeah, this dude is even more like Shikamaru than I thought. Remember I talked about Shikamaru and how similar to him he is? Yeah, this dude is probably a lot more towards Shikamaru than I originally thought. A genius? Him? Oh wait, I went back. He made that thing himself, huh? Then it cuts to what looks to be like a scrap yard? Either a scrap yard or waste. It looks like a dump. It looks like we're at a regular dump. How long are you going to be hanging around here? Huh? Aren't you supposed to be looking for the database? I know that. Lay off, would ya? There just aren't any clues. Starting to enjoy exploring the school, this is Shin. The ability to find things is a true reflection of intelligence. Shut up! For starters, assuming this database actually exists, What do you expect it to look like?
Huh? Oh, you know. Like some sort of journal-like notebook that's inside a safe? Or like in a secret library or something.
One notebook per student, times a student body of 1,000 students, times 50 years, hypothetically. You'd need a space the size of a small manga cafe.
So?
It's clearly been digitalized, otherwise you would have found it by now. Searching the entire school for a hard disk or USB drive would be like trying to find a needle in a haystack. The idea of finding it by physically searching for it is ridiculous. The only way is to look for people who have information. Start with the teacher who's been here the longest. And this shocks Shin because this is a right, bro. Only 8 hours left, bro. Time's not passing. Waiting your live stream Wukong today as soon as possible. I am not doing Wukong, even though Wukong says that it'll be ready in like 9 hours. I'm not gonna play it immediately because it's gonna be 9 o'clock and I don't stream that late. I'll be playing tomorrow at 12:30. Like I think I told you that I was gonna be playing at 12:30 when it launched on the 20th. So I'm not playing it later tonight. I'm gonna wait until it's broad daylight before I do so. Just be patient for a little bit. But it's a process. I have a process. So just be patient, and I'll be doing my series for Black Myth Wukong when it's time tomorrow. But Shin is shocked by just how analytical Natsuki is on the whole situation. Just from a couple of words from Shin, and Natsuki has already come up with a whole hypothetical of what this database could be, where it could be, and the best way to go about it. Start with the teacher who's been here the longest. Of course, I'd keep my distance from.
Thank you!
And Shin immediately takes off. Okay, bro, 12:30. Okay, bro, I will be there. Yes, 12:30 noon. 12:30 Eastern Standard Time in the afternoon. That's when I'll be starting Black Myth Wukong, and not a single minute later.
Thank you!
And Shin just takes off. And then he's silent. And then someone walks up right behind Natsuki and goes, "Your friend's sure energetic, huh, Seba?" Oh, hi. Mr. Janitor, do you know anything about the database? The database, huh? Brings back memories. And then someone starts ringing his phone. Sorry, that's a Den Mushi from One Piece. And on the phone is Mafuyu, because remember, Mafuyu and Toramaru have been taken by Kanaguri in order for them to be recruited by Slur. So, you know. Yo, Psycho, what's going on? It's good to see you. Wow, so many people tuning in to my read-through of Sakamoto Days today. Hey, everyone. Hope you're having a fantastic time. But Mafuyu is ringing in. And then we have someone speaking in, like, this judo hall? No. Yeah, it looks like a judo hall. Yeah, it looks like a dojo. Become the embodiment of undetectable aggression. This is the fundamental ideal of the JCC. A lot of students don't get it. We're not martial artists or street punks. We're assassins. We have to blend into our surroundings, cities, people, nature, in order to achieve our missions. That's why in this assassination practicum, you'll learn how to hide your aggression and other practical skills. Also, out of the entire school's curriculum, this is the class students fail the most. And this is starting to get people nervous. This is like, this whole curriculum is as if you were being taught by Kakashi. So be extra vigilant. Yikes.
Scary.
And Akari is in this class as well.
Will I ever survive this? I haven't been able to keep up in any of my classes so far. I feel like I'm going to barf up that disgusting bowl I had for lunch.
You know, that JCC bowl, where it's just an amalgamation of just leftover food in a bowl? It's Disgusting. And then the head teacher has someone put a blindfold over his eyes. Well, since it's the first day, let's start out easy. I'll wear a blindfold. Come at me one at a time, whenever you're ready. And everyone's looking like, huh? I want you to feel how hard it is to make yourself undetectable. Anyone who lands a blow gets an A+. And one of these students tries to walk up to this teacher, and not only does he dodge that punch, walk up to the teacher and tries to punch him, but not only does the teacher dodge the punch, but he lands like a solid blow in the middle of his solar plexus, just like right in the middle of his chest. I never said I wouldn't counterattack. And then everyone is looking as more and more people are in a collapsed heap all around this guy, and the dude has yet to take his blindfold off. Your aggression is loud and clear, all of you! And there's a woman with him, sorry, got the burps. There's a woman with him that's also taking notes. And then it cuts to, hey, it's Shin!
Hey, looks like you're taking an interesting class.
Shin!
Yo, Akira.
Wow, it's not Akari, it's Akira! I knew it felt weird. It felt weird for me to say Akari. It felt weird, and I thought to myself, I'm saying this wrong. I'm saying this so wrong. It's Akira. Akira Akao! Sorry, I am so sorry. Someone's probably going to correct me in the future, but I got it. But she goes,
Shin!
Yo, Akira, you look well.
Who are you? Are you registered for this class?
Oh, I was just asking around, and I hear this class's teacher, Satoda Sensei, has been at this school longer than anyone. I wanted to ask you a question. It's about the database.
And then all the students behind Shin just start laughing.
The database? You believe that urban legend?
And then Satoda is silent and then goes, You're not in this class, so get lost. You're in the way. And then Shin proceeds to put on a blindfold and goes,
I'll wear a blindfold. If I can dodge all your attacks, Sensei, will you speak with me?
And some anger lines start to pop up. If I go through this and it doesn't refresh chat again. No, we're still good. Okay. Because I can't trust the mobile. And Satoda gets like anger veins that just pops up right around his eyes. And all the other students are gulping from the tension in the air. And then Satoda just goes, fine. And he walks up to Shin and he points a gun directly in his face. And he fires. But Shin moves out of the way. Shocking both Satoda and the students.
Pulling a gun first thing? That's pretty merciless, Sensei.
And he proceeds to hit Satoda directly in his neck. He just jumps in the air and just delivers a kick directly into the neck. Ugh.
What? Sensei, couldn't you detect my aggression?
Whoa, amazing!
Crap, now we can't talk.
Because Shin just knocked him unconscious. Who is that guy?
Shin, you're amazing!
And then it cuts to the lady who was taking notes as she goes,
Students these days. I don't know what's wrong with them.
And then she just lightly takes Shin by the wrist.
What is it, Auntie?
And with one twist, she slams Shin directly into the floor. She just lightly takes him by the wrists. And then just in one swift motion, Shin is face first in the ground.
Yow!
And everyone is shocked. Oh! And all the students are shocked and go, what?
I'm not your auntie. I'm Satoda Sensei. I teach this class. That gentleman was my assistant. Looking for the database, are you? I remember 3 fools doing the same years ago.
I was wrong! The dude was not Satoda! It's the lady behind him! She's in charge of this class! She's in charge of the class. From chapters 80 all the way to 88. That's what we're doing today. That's the end of chapter 80. Onwards to chapter 80, days 81. Test.
Looking for the database, are you? I remember 3 fools doing the same years ago.
She's good. Who is this old lady?
Shin? What database?
It's an urban legend. Rumor is, if you find it, you can learn everything about this.
Real quick. I saw it mess with me just for a quick second there. We're good.
Rumor is, if you find it, you can learn everything about this school, including its graduates. It's supposed to be like the Akashic Records of the JCC.
Now, the thing is, this lady, she's not old. She's not like an old lady. She still has dark hair, but she looks like she's around maybe her 40s or maybe getting close to her 50s a little bit. So she's not old, but, she's getting up there in age.
For real?
We're here to find information on a JCC graduate. The assassin killer Slur.
No can do.
What? Why?
I've heard of this Slur. He's all you students talk about. Don't do it. It's dangerous. Even if you could find information on Slur in the database, and it leads you to them, someone at your level would be dead meat.
What?
It doesn't matter who they are.
It doesn't matter who we are. What matters is our plan. I'm sorry, I had to do it. She's seasoned. That's a good way to say it. She's seasoned.
It doesn't matter who they are. I don't like letting young people die.
Don't underestimate me, lady. You caught me off guard, that's all.
Oh? Will you use that excuse when you get killed too?
Not only is she seasoned, but she is also roasting Shin. She's a seasoned roaster. And Shin immediately takes off.
Shin!
And he tries to launch at her, but she stops him. With one hand again, stops him, and flips him on his back like it's nothing. This is a seasoned roaster that is not a boaster. Gah!
It's ironic. I teach children how to be killers, but I don't want my students to die.
And she starts gripping onto Shin tighter and tighter, and you can hear like the subtle cracking of bones. She's not breaking his bones yet, but you can hear bones being pressured by her Iron Man grip.
Shin!
We were attacked by him before. Even family isn't off limits to him. I want to know how he wound up like that, no matter how dangerous it might be. I don't want to see the people I care about die. That's why I'm here.
I'm surprised he can speak. This has to really hurt.
Oh, she's putting so much pressure on Shin's arm that it should be causing him to reel in pain. And mind you, he's got his arm pressed up behind him, and she's also putting pressure on his bones by gripping it. So not only should he be in pain from his arm being twisted and leveraged behind him, but also from the pain of having one's wrists squeezed at such an intense line of pressure. And yet he's still able to speak, which is shocking to her.
Honestly, if you're so determined to get your way, then let's see if you can score one hit on this retired old soldier.
And both Shin and Akira are silent.
But I have classes to teach, things to do. I can't waste any more time. Here, take this.
What's this?
An assassin permission slip. It's a license to target a specific person at the JCC for 24 hours.
I'm sorry. When I was brought up in elementary school, permission slips were given to the parents so that you could take field trips and stuff and go different places. I didn't go to every single thing that required a permission slip because, different times. But last I checked, I don't remember no permission slips giving you permission to do something inside of the school. It was always for something outside the school. But this permission slip gives you the 24 hours free reign of trying to target any person inside the JCC? Okay.
It's a license to target a specific person at the JCC for 24 hours. We use them for seniors taking their graduation tests.
Ding, 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 ding.
Oh, there's the bell. Good luck.
And she just casually walks away. This woman scares me. And while she's leaving, Akira bum rushes her in an instant. And she blocks Akira. Where did she even come from? She's just already on her. Already on Sensei, Satora Sensei. And this surprised Shin.
You too?
Oh, I'm sorry, Sensei. There's something I really need to know, too. The database might help me find Rion.
Her Aunt Rion. Rion Akao. One of the 3 people among Sakamoto and Nagumo. And now it's coming to my recollection that the 3 people that Satora may have been referencing might have been Rion, Sakamoto, and Nagumo back then. Huh.
The database might help me find Rion. Shin, I may not have much to offer, but I'll do all I can to help.
And then it cuts to the infirmary, where Shin is being taken care of. And Sakamoto enters in.
I see that.
I see. And that sensei seems to know the database's location, right?
Yes, Mr. Sakamoto. I'm sorry, to be honest. Even though I probably could have read that teacher's mind, she had a point.
Someone at your level would be dead meat.
So I'll defeat her properly, and then find out what she knows.
And then this is Sakamoto still under the guise of his wife.
Got it. Well, with your current skills, I don't think a teacher should be a problem. By the way, what's her name?
Oh, I think it was Satora Sensei.
And Sakamoto gets a jolt in his brain, and he immediately starts sweating. His eyes get tense. Yo, what is Satora to Sakamoto? And he's surprised. Yep, I was right! Because here it shows Satora manhandling not only Nagumo, but Sakamoto at the same time. She has them both in an arm lock with one hand. Let me say that again. She has them both in an arm lock with one hand. Other hand still holding on to that same old notebook she was using in the present day.
Next time I catch you fighting, I'll break your arms.
And Rion is just in the background, just laughing.
Awesome!
Get her too, Sensei! And this is Nagumo. And Sakamoto is just, he's dragged in this as well. But
Mr. Sakamoto?
And now we're back in the present.
Shin, there's something I need to look into. I trust you to handle this.
Huh? He hung up.
Mr. Taro's here too?
Well, let's get going.
Yeah.
And as they're leaving, there's a closed curtain section of a bed in this infirmary, and inside this space is Natsuki. He's just chilling. He's just laying up in here with his headphones on, just relaxing. He really is Shikamaru.
By the way, Akira, you've got guts, attacking the teacher like that.
Oh, gosh. That teacher's really good. I couldn't see a pathway at all.
Pathway?
Don't you see it sometimes? You know, that thing that lights up and points towards someone?
Huh?
When she was farther away, I could see a bunch of pathways. But close up, I couldn't see any. Just a cliff.
Wow. You know, the biggest reference I can get to this is, what is her name? Inca from Fire Force, with her pyrokinetic ability where she can see a path line that can make it so that I think she could see into the future a little bit with the fiery path lines. I forget the exact nature of her pyrokinetic abilities from Fire Force, but she could see a path that could lead to a certain destination or a certain thing happening, and she can know when it's going to happen at that specific time, which is how she was able to figure out, hey, this fire is about to erupt in this town. Let's go to those places and save those people and also extort them out of all their life savings by saving them. Akira has that sort of pathway ability as well, where she can see a path to her target. But she doesn't see one when she gets close to Satora Sensei. Because as soon as she gets close, the pathway just shuts off, and it's like, now you have absolutely no idea how to get at her. I told you, this woman scares me. And if Akira, who seems to have some latent assassin, but massive assassin potential hidden deep within her, if she's not able to see a path forward, and if Sakamoto himself gets nervous hearing her name, that's a person to be scared of.
But up close, I couldn't see any. Just a cliff.
Did someone give you a weird drug as a kid?
Huh?
Nothing. Anyway, we have to find some kind of blind spot.
And then it cuts to Satora, who's in the cafeteria just eating some food. And this does not look like the JCC bowl, which I imagine she has probably never eaten the JCC bowl since she's just that good. But she's eating, and we have Akira and Shin just hiding behind the corner, just watching her.
What's the plan, Shin?
People are vulnerable when they're eating.
I get it. We attack now!
And they start moving, and Satora notices something.
Right. She's got both hands full.
And before Shin can do anything, she's still slurping on noodles, and she takes her chopsticks and grabs Shin's finger and immediately puts him down. She grabs his finger and I guess applies so much pressure that this dude screams out in pain, and he's already on the ground. But we have Akira running up behind her.
There! I see it!
And we see this pathway that she was talking about, going from Akira straight to the back of her neck.
You see something, don't you?
Oh, wait. It's the pathway to me getting killed.
Oh! She didn't see a pathway to her! She saw Satoru's pathway. Akira didn't see her pathway to Satora Sensei. She saw Satora Sensei's pathway to her. She scares me. I told you this woman scares me. Fear! The old person in a profession where people die young. This is another example. Old man Takamoto scares me, and Satora scares me. No.
Oh, wait. It's the pathway to me getting killed.
And with one shove of her arm, she sends Akira straight through a wall. With one shove of her arm. It's not even like a punch. It's just a shove. Just the broadside of her arm, and she sends Akira straight through a wall. What is this world?
Not even close.
You okay, Akira?
Wow, she hit Akira so hard, Akira hit the adjacent wall in the distance and left a crack in it from the impact.
That freaked me out.
Oh! She didn't hit the wall. She hit Natsuki, who was right up on the wall invisible. He was invisible. Oh, so Natsuki basically just saved Akira from some serious pain just now. But he pretty much took the brunt of that impact because the wall is still very much cracked behind him. Ow. Seba! Seba!
An invisible person?
Things have changed. I'm helping too.
Wow! So now we got Natsuki! We got Natsuki in line with this. That's the end of chapter 81. Onwards to chapter 82. This is getting good. Gajil, and he may not see this VOD at all, but Gajil and many other people were telling me that Sakamoto Days was really good, and I'm starting to see why, because I am so invested in this story right now. I still can't believe JJK is about to end in 5 chapters. Good God. I can't believe this. That's still in my mind. I can't believe Jujutsu Kaisen is about to end in 5 days! Well, in 5 more chapters. 5 more chapters. 5 more chapters. But, chapter 82. We'll talk about JJK later.
Seba?
Things have changed. I'm helping too.
Sakamoto Days. Days 82. Aikido Love. Oh! So here's the thing. Before I got into reading about Sakamoto Days, I've seen so much art concerning Sakamoto Days that I've seen this art where it has a big double spread panel of Sakamoto, Rion, and Nagumo. I've seen this before, but I didn't know what it was in reference to. And now that I see it here, I'm like, wow, I've been seeing so much Sakamoto Days before I actually started reading this entire series. So we got a color cover page. Sakamoto, Rion, and Nagumo. So she has greenish hair. Mind you, her hair isn't like bright blue like Akira's is. Hers is like a greenish cyan, maybe? Turquoise. That's actually a good color. And it shows Nagumo, he's chilling. He apparently has tattoos all over his legs. So this is the big 3. Interesting. Days 82, Aikido Love. And we have Seba. We have Natsuki here.
Well, you certainly have lots of friends, don't you? Perhaps I should be a little more serious.
And then all of the students are starting to take notice of Shin, Natsuki, and Akira, preparing to go up against Satora. And then the bell rings.
Oh dear, it's time to watch a clever assassin's life.
Only a true novice turns their back on an enemy. Let's go, Akira!
Okay.
And Natsuki trips Shin to the point where one of his shoes flies off.
Shin?
I'll kill you, you jerk!
Sorry. You were about to attack Satora-sensei head-on. What are you, an idiot?
Huh?
You'll never beat her like that. When she was younger, she was a master martial artist assassin, an Aikido master. She came back from every one of her missions unscathed.
What did I tell you? What did I just say? What did I just say? What did I just say? I said I was scared of this woman, yes? What you mean? When she was younger and she went on missions, she came back without a single scratch. An Aikido master? The exact opposite of what Steven Seagal thinks he is.
She came back from every one of her missions unscathed.
For real?
So those weird techniques she uses are Aikido?
Isn't Aikido a martial art that specializes in deflecting your enemy's attacks back at them?
See, that's what Steven Seagal tries to say that he's a master of, but it's the one he's trying to do is very fake. He's not a master at all. He is a master of faking Aikido, but he's not even close. He wishes he was as good as even Akira in this series, even a fraction of that.
Isn't Aikido a martial art that specializes in deflecting your enemy's attacks back at them?
Aikido isn't considered a martial art suited to killing, but after Satoru Sensei,
It became a required skill for assassins. Wow! She was so good at what she did that assassins from that point on were required to learn Aikido. That's how great she was! I told you I was scared of this woman. I told you I was. But after Satoru-sensei, it became a required skill for assassins.
Wow.
And you think you can take her head on? What a joke. Ah!
Anyway, why did you suddenly decide to help? And what do you mean things have changed?
Oh, and we go back to when he got a call. I got a call from Mafuyu, but he didn't say anything. For some reason, I could hear Slur's henchmen talking in the background. And now we cut to Mafuyu, and we go back in time to when him and Toramaru were taken by Kanaguri.
Good morning. Did you sleep well?
Sounded
like you were having a nightmare. You sure sleep a lot. There's nothing to do. I watched all of The Bachelor.
Oh no, it's all over. I fell asleep without taking a bath.
That's the issue?
And then Mafuyu was looking at his leg. Did you bandage me?
No, not me. It was Mr. Nice Deer.
Do you like hamburgers? So, is Kashima like the nice guy out of the group? Bandaging people, healing people up. He's not only a medic, but he's also support class as well. Going out and getting people some Mickey D's. Or is that Wendy's? That looks like Wendy's. I bet you anything they got that bourbon bacon cheeseburger. Wendy's, why did you get rid of that? It was such a wonderful cheeseburger. I will never let that go.
What's with the VIP treatment anyway? Treating our wounds and feeding us and stuff? Are they mocking us? They didn't even take our weapons. I waited for you to wake up. Am I nice or what? Let's eat this ice cream first, then get out of here.
I can't eat melted ice cream. Gross. This dude's particular. I'm never taking him anywhere. What's with this filthy place? Yuck. Is it some kind of factory? There are no guards.
Yikes. Kind of scary, no?
Did you wash your hands?
You're so rude!
And she slaps him in the back for that rude comment. And then she starts moving backwards and she trips over something.
Ow! Oh.
And it's Gaku! She just trips over Gaku, who's apparently asleep right now. And she immediately jumps up. They both get startled, but Gaku is so deep in his sleep that he didn't even move from Toramaru falling on top of him. Once again, chat does not update. You guys have been clearly speaking. You have been speaking. Alessio, it's good to see you. Alessio, how you doing? It's good to see you. Really, chat didn't update at all. She gives me the old lady cook vibes from T-Bait. Yes, Asteria, Lady Asteria. Satoru says, Killer Bean, hello. Yes, sir, Kashima is probably the nicest of the group. Let's see, I am not saying that at all. Weird. Ashy. Weird. But Gaku is completely knocked out. He's totally out. I can't believe you tripped on him.
It was an accident!
And, Gaku's just steadily fast asleep. He's just chilling on the ground. Just out. Got a face mask on and everything. And they're just walking through this whole factory like there's multiple levels to it. Hang on a minute.
What?
That room. Do you hear something?
You're right. Yikes!
And they peer inside, and it's Slur, and he's saying something, but we can't make out what it is. We can't make out what it is. It's very jumbled up. It's like old man Sakamoto just muttering to himself before he's preparing to slice an entire building in half. That is not an exaggeration. He can more than likely do that. If he's able to slice that tower straight through its entire support beam and slice through an entire section of a building with one swipe, I'm pretty sure he can slice through an entire building. But he's just muttering to himself, just like, with his hands in his head, with his hands on his face. And Mafuyu is just looking. And then Kashima appears right behind them.
Going for a walk?
And they both immediately spin around. They both immediately spin around, and then they just take off. And then Kashima takes off his mask and tries to use like his like chain whip arm to try and hit Mafuyu, but they dodge out of the way.
The bathroom isn't this way.
And then he's looking back, and then Mafuyu is looking back, and he looks down, and he notices something on the ground, and it's a cockroach.
Kill me!
Because he apparently stepped on the cockroach. Because there's a crunch sound when he's skidding.
Kill me! I stepped on a cockroach!
Looking back, this moment with Slur is crazy foreshadowing. Say nothing else. Remember, this is my first time reading through Sakamoto. No more foreshadowing speak whatsoever. Nothing at all.
Kill me! I stepped on a cockroach!
God, this isn't the time!
What? Ah! How could you? No matter how small a life is a life!
Huh?
And then it shows Kashima is just like cradling around this currently struggling cockroach. And then the next panel we get, he just stomps on it full force!
If you're going to kill, then have mercy! Witness their complete demise!
Remember when I said that Kashima might be the nicest of the group? He might be the nicest of the group. And remember when Killer Bean said, yes, sir, Kashima is probably the nicest of the group? Yeah, we can put that thought out of our minds now.
If you're going to kill, then have mercy. Witness their complete demise.
And he just squashes the cockroach continuously.
You kids don't appreciate the value of life. You're not fit to be assassins.
Ew. How cringy. Is he like a cockroach fan?
This just gets worse and worse. And both Todamaru and Mafuyu brandish their weapons. Mafuyu with his blade shoes, and Todamaru with her gun axe.
Watch how you talk to me. You kids have no manners. I'll have to punish you.
And he takes like this little trigger, and he presses a button, and there's an explosion that happens just right behind them. And a piece of rubble just lands near Gaku, and he's still fast asleep.
When I treated you earlier, I embedded a bomb just like that in each of you. It's the size of a grain of rice, but it's extremely powerful.
How? A bomb the size of a grain of rice, but it's capable of leveling an entire wall in a big old section of the factory that they're standing in? How? Did you use microscopic tweezers in order to make this thing? What you mean is a bomb the size of a grain of rice, but it can blow up an entire section of a factory? Stop it. Y'all are crazy. Every last one of you is crazy.
It's the size of a grain of rice, but it's extremely powerful.
What?
You put some filthy thing in my body?
It's a surprise present. Are you having fun? And then Slur walks up, just rifling his hand through his hands. Aren't assassins supposed to kill, though? No, they are. But Kashima sees it as like, you have no mercy. If you're gonna kill something, kill them completely. Don't leave them lingering to life. Kill them completely, which is why when he was coddling the cockroach, he finished the job, because that's exactly what he means. Have mercy. And apparently killing your target is a mercy to the victim in his eyes, it would seem. At least that's what I can gather from his words. But then Slur walks up. It's a surprise present. Are you having fun? You've gotta have some thrills to live a good life.
No thanks. This is too scary.
And then Slur just smiles at her. Then there's a blank moment for her. And then she gets flustered.
What's this? Am I a fan now?
And the words and kanji of fandom shift immediately erupt around her.
Doing brutal things while smiling like that. It's not fair. That contrast is too intense. It gets to me. Stop.
Stop being such a creep. Kashima, that bomb makes quite the sound. Oops, sorry. Hold on. Alright, okay, we're good. Kashima, that bomb makes quite the sound. Oops, sorry. Did I wake you? And Mafuyu is just looking. And then he has this, and then we get to the end of the flashback because it shows Mafuyu. That's the moment when he called his brother. He has his hands in his pockets and he called his brother. It was bigger than I expected. I was a bit surprised myself. And then we get back to the present when Natsuki was talking about his brother calling him. When he calls without saying anything, he usually means he's in trouble and needs help, but he's too embarrassed to ask for it.
What a pain!
I've been trying to figure it out, but I haven't found any clues to Mafuyu's or Slur's whereabouts. It's stupid, but I guess my only hope is that database. I need any help I can get to find my little brother.
But to get to the database, we have to beat Satora-sensei, the toughest teacher at school.
Yeah, do you have a plan or something?
Well, I hate to brag, but I'm an ace weapon maker. And that's the end of chapter 82. Onwards to 83. This is really getting interesting. Days 83, Genius Style.
I'm an ace weapon maker.
Impersonation of Seba.
Who says that about themselves?
Do I really look that ugly? And Seba, and then Shin immediately points a gun at Seba. Honestly, you should be thanking me.
For what?
I'm offering to make you a weapon. Back at the weapons manufacturing department. Good. Before Natsuki gets back, I'll hide my work in here. He's not gonna melt it this time. That's so obvious. I wouldn't put it there if I were you. Ah! Dang it!
We're back.
What? Hey, Natsuki, quit letting outsiders in here all the time. Respect the sanctity of the space.
Oh, pardon me. It's my first time at the weapons department. I was just hoping to observe a bit.
And all the other dudes are just silent. And then they're immediately taken in by the fact that there's a girl there now. If this thing does not update properly so I can see what you guys are saying while I'm reading. There it is. But Mafuyu already stepped on it. He's saying that you shouldn't let your opponent suffer. Yeah, that's why I said everything that I said before. That's the reason why Kashima said finish the job. You shouldn't let them suffer the way they did. But yeah. But all the dudes in this workshop, they immediately go silent and they start being nice around Akira. I guess they don't get many women that come into this department.
Oh, no problem.
Sure, stay as long as you like.
Careful, that's dirty. Why are their voices suddenly so gentle?
Weapons nerds have zero immunity to girls. I can see it.
So, what kind of weapon are you going to make?
No clue. What kind do you usually use?
I've always relied on my ESP. I've never really mastered a specific weapon. Actually, watching Mr. Sakamoto after all these years, I always got the sense that only third-rate assassins depend on weapons. So I pretty much avoided them.
So, you think you're first-rate like Taro Sakamoto?
Huh? That's not what I meant.
Don't you think the fastest path to becoming first rate is to first accept that you're third rate? And then Shin is thinking back to what Toromaru said to him.
So you like to counterattack. I'll have to take you out in one go, right?
And then back to Satora-sensei.
Someone at your level would be dead meat.
Besides, your body's nothing like Sakamoto's. This is ridiculous. In boxing, 2 kilos is enough to put you in a different weight class.
Shut up! You're such a jerk! Just give me a weapon, I don't care what!
And he's just going into a random weapon box. And he immediately gets electrocuted by... That's a taser prototype. By a taser prototype that apparently he made. He got fried. Shin got fried.
Are you okay, Shin?
The trigger's too sensitive when the power's turned up. Check this out.
Huh?
And Shin is immediately flash frozen by this little capsule that Natsuki tossed to him.
Good!
It's a liquid nitrogen bomb. It'll freeze a guy solid. Only trouble is it takes 2 days to reload. And then we have another weapon for Shin, and he fires, and the bullets scream. Scream gun. When the bullet hits home, it lets out an ear-splitting scream. You can also use it to play music, so it can be useful.
Kinda makes me feel sorry for the target.
What good is this?
This is a really bright light-up sword.
It's cool, but it hurts to look at.
Plus, it has to be plugged in. Fire shoes.
So stupid!
Spiny knives with or without spines.
Huh?
Oh, and also...
Didn't you say you were an ace weapons manufacturer?
Because apparently, Shin has been put through the ringer trying out all of these different weapons. The dude is bloodied and messed up. Akira is, completely unscathed because nothing happens to Akira. There's more over here.
All this stuff is useless!
Then we get the other dudes who are in the shop. Hey, this is kind of refreshing. Natsuki's messing with someone other than us for a change.
I heard he was some kind of a genius, so I thought he'd have all these amazing inventions. There's nothing but garbage!
That's not how it works. He never shows it, but people call him a genius because they only see the final results. In reality, he shows up at the lab earlier than anyone, and he's always the last to go home. Ah, that Michael Jordan mentality. I see you. That's how Natsuki works. He's made millions of prototypes. I bet he holds the school record for failed projects. But among all the garbage, occasionally something extraordinary emerges. It's the fruit of an incredible amount of effort. That's why we all like and respect him, no matter how annoying he is. Let's check these out next.
You're experimenting on me, aren't you?
Me?
Maybe he just likes making weapons. And Shin is silent and goes,
Fine, bring it on.
And he just cracks his shoulder, like something that Sakamoto would do. Want to try wearing something on your hand?
Put that away.
And then Shin looks down and he notices a glove on a table.
What's this? A huge glove?
Oh, that? Where'd you find it? It's the latest disaster.
How come?
It turns off the limiter in your brain. It gives the wearer access to extreme strength. One blow will completely annihilate the enemy. If it lands, that is. And Shin just starts, sparring with the glove on.
Nothing's happening.
And then it starts to buzz while he goes back for another punch. And then there's like this crackle of energy that appears from this wire in this glove. And he punches a wall. And he gets sent flying back from the shockwave of the impact of the punch. Shocking both himself and Akira. Even Natsuki had to put his hands up. There's a lag of a few seconds before it activates.
What was that?
And Shin's punch left a big, giant, gaping hole in the wall in the workshop. The hole is bigger than Natsuki. It's taken up the whole wall from this one punch from Shin.
What was that?
And then there's a twitch in the glove, and then Shin starts feeling pain. His right arm is bright red. Get him to the infirmary!
Shin, are you okay?
Seba, you truly are first rate. Did you hear me? Delayed action is a fatal flaw in close combat. It's useless unless you can see the future.
And then Shin just starts laughing as his eyes take on his limiter state. I don't know the proper name for it, but when he starts to see into the future, his eyes take on that appearance. Then we get back to a warehouse where Gaku is now fully awake. Hey, Kashima, you have some business with the JCC? Want me to just bust in there and smash it up?
You're finally awake, Gaku. I suppose that's possible, but it would be extremely cumbersome. The JCC is on a remote island. The tides are too complex to dock a boat. The surrounding airspace is protected by homing missiles that intercept any vessel not on official JCC business.
And Gaku continues to play on his PSP.
He's not even listening.
Don't worry, Gaku. Oh, hi, boss. That's why we have Amane.
Who? Can we leave it up to him?
He kind of reminds me of me when I was younger. He's dumb enough to pull it off.
But he's still a kid. There's no telling if he'll change his mind.
Don't worry, Kashima. He won't betray us. I've already made sure of that.
Club Jam.
And we have Club Jam just walking out of the dark like he's like some sort of weirdo, just walking up, and he has rope wrapped around, like he has a regular shirt and then he has a jacket over the shirt, but underneath he has like rope bound up in like there's only one way to describe the type of rope he has wrapped around him in this intricate design. It's just like it's binding rope on him. But apparently Club Jam has made sure that Amane won't betray them? Interesting. I wonder what Club Jam can do. But that's the end of chapter 83. Onwards to chapter 84. Days 84. What a nice smell. Bourbon bacon cheeseburger smells are always nice.
Destroy the database. This is your entrance exam, Amane.
And this is when Kashima was speaking to Amane. Here are the master keys to all the classrooms. Thanks. By the way, what do you want those keys for, anyway?
I need them to get my stuff in order.
Well, take care not to lose them. They're important. Oh, wait. That's Sakamoto. Sorry. Here are the master keys to all the classrooms.
Thanks.
By the way, what do you want those keys for, anyway?
I need them to get my stuff in order.
Well, take care not to lose them. They're important.
We'll start with the South Hall.
And then Sakamoto's stomach punches out of his body again because his disguise is starting to falter in certain places. His stomach exploded when he was first introduced to the class. But it's starting to get a little bit awkward.
We'll start with the South Hall.
And his stomach punches out and then he presses it back in. Then we have the inner monologue of Sakamoto. Club Jam is the definition of weirdo? I imagine so. I'm sure I will learn more.
I'm starting to transform back. I don't want to get fat while disguised as Aoi.
And he smushes his stomach back in.
I've got to get back to the store quick.
And he's thinking back to the state of his store while he and Shin are currently on this remote island. Because Heisuke and Lou are in charge there. And Heisuke's going, let's have a sale every day. And Lou's going like,
our sake stock is getting low.
And then Sakamoto immediately starts running full speed. He's not running full speed. Something moves. Actually, is that him moving at that speed? I think that's him moving at this speed, running very quickly. And then something comes flying towards him, and it's a sectional staff. I think this is a 4-sectional staff. Unlike a 3-sectional one. It might be 3-sectional. But someone just tried to attack him with this sectional staff, and at the end, they managed to take the keys from him. And it's Amane! Amane has taken the keys from Sakamoto. I didn't think you'd dodge that.
What's the big idea, Amane? That's your name, right?
Sorry, intern teacher.
Why does he seem
familiar? I need to borrow these keys. Thanks for getting them from the office. And Sakamoto is looking at the 3 sectional staff, and then, oh, is he related to that other order member that we just saw in our last session that killed all those people around him that was fighting the other members of the order, Mr. Shishiba, Nagumo, and Osaragi? I forget his name, but I'm pretty sure Sakamoto's about to say it again. Now I remember.
Amane, are you Mr. Yotsumura's son?
Yeah, Yotsumura. He's using a 3 sectional staff just like his dad. How do you know that name?
We worked together a while back. He mentioned he had a son.
He's no father. He's the murderer who destroyed my family. And then Amane just disappears.
Oh, the keys. He took them.
And Amane just starts running full tilt. They work together? Who the heck is that teaching intern? And there's a clang sound above him because Sakamoto has caught up to Amane.
Wait! You don't need those. Give them back.
I'm looking for something. Sorry, but I need them.
Well, that's a coincidence. I need them too.
And Sakamoto continues to chase Amane through the halls. And they're moving at breakneck speeds. And it's like... Amane uses a 4 section, Yotsumura uses 3, bro beat his dad. Bro beat his dad and having more sections on his sectional staff. It's all like, my dad uses 3, so I'm gonna be better than him and use 4. Well, I'm gonna be better than my son and start using 5. I'm gonna be better than my dad and start using 6. I'm gonna be better than my son and start using 7. It then just becomes a literal multi-linked whip at that point. But Sakamoto is chasing Amane through the hall. So in other words, in the critical zones of the body, he's fast. And they're taking off through the classes, and Amane is just bursting. Amane is just, he actually, is this the kitchen? This is the kitchen. They just go through the kitchen, and Amane just breaks through the glass of the kitchen.
I'll kill you, you little punk!
And Sakamoto grabs some food for himself, and while Sakamoto is running, Amane slides underneath these 2 students who are carrying this giant chest full of guns. And Sakamoto, seeing it, he flips over it, grabs a gun, and shoots straight towards Amane. And Amane sees that, and he immediately dodges through a window.
Feed ramp needs polishing.
What a nice smell. Intro to Assassin History. And we're in a completely different class now. And Amane gets in. Amane walks in to this classroom, and the teacher notices him. She's a teacher. She wouldn't disturb a class. Hey, it's Amane, the second-year assassin major.
He's got the best grades in school.
Never seen him in class before. You don't usually come to class, Amane. Hi. Want to copy my notes? I owe you for helping me before the last test. Don't worry about it. Thanks, though. And then Sakamoto walks into the same classroom, just casually.
Are you the new teaching intern?
I'd like to observe class.
Man, she doesn't let up. And Sakamoto just walks behind Amane and just stands behind them. This is something that I wouldn't call it being petty. I wouldn't call it being petty, but this is something that I would do. If I was walking up behind someone and I'm trying to follow them, I would be and I could enter into a room and not be looked at as suspicious. I would just walk up right behind him and I would just stand there waiting. We've seen this in movies before. Matter of fact, we've seen this in the John Wick films. When someone's chasing John and they go into an area that's just full of civilians, they act real casual. And they act real casual even when in close proximity, because they're not trying to draw too much attention to themselves yet. But it's kind of like that. I like that.
Now, turn to page 56 of your textbooks. Today's the 22nd, so student number 22.
In 1949, Mitsuharu Uda and the Group of Seven established the Assassin's Alliance. And while the student is reading out, Sakamoto,
Amane attacks Sakamoto! Just straight up tries to attack him while this dude is reading!
In 1949, Mitsuharu Uda and the Group of Seven established the Assassin's Alliance to further unify Japanese assassins as a deterrent to other organizations. And they're just, and I wouldn't even say like Amane is fighting Sakamoto, because Sakamoto really isn't fighting at all. He's just dodging casually. They established the JAA Special Organization, but it was disbanded due to backlash from other organizations for taking a 10% cut of the profits. And Sakamoto, in one swift motion, he just goes, pap, just hits him directly in the side of his neck and in his head at the same time.
Yes, this part always shows up on tests. Now, the next line. You in the back row. I thought I just saw him.
Huh? Amane?
And then the students continue to talk because Sakamoto just dusted him. Oh!
Alessio. Oh, this is the other Alessio. You gotta go now, so see you soon. All right, Alessio. It's good to see you. Hopefully you're doing well. Stay safe out there. Remember to rest up, and I'll see you in my next session. Have a fantastic day.
But the students continue. This is funny to me. This is funny. Amane doing all this, trying to hit Sakamoto. Sakamoto's dodging out of the way. Sakamoto hits him once, and they're already out of the room.
Huh? Amane?
In 1995, at the International Assassin Summit, and Sakamoto has already cornered Amane.
Ugh. This teacher's tough. You're a follower of slurs, huh? I have nothing to say to a JAA dog. Why do you want the master keys to all the classrooms? Why do you hate the JAA so much? Your father's a member.
That's why I have to destroy the old man and the JAA.
Mr. Yotsumura loved his son. He'd be sad that you hate him.
I hate you, Daddy.
And this is Sakamoto thinking of his own daughter saying that to him.
What do you know? He's the man who murdered my mother!
I understand. And that's the end of chapter 84. Onwards to chapter 85. I have questions. Days 85. Nightmare.
He's the man who killed my mother.
What do you mean?
Don't pry into other people's personal affairs to satisfy your curiosity. It's bad manners.
You're the one who was fighting a teacher. And you didn't have a permission slip. Sorry, but your fighting of a teacher on school grounds is not warranted without a permission slip, young man. Do you have a hall pass? Do you have a permission slip to target this intern teacher? No? Then you're in the wrong. We just learned about assassin permission slips in school. This man ain't got no permission slip. He ain't got no hall pass. He in the wrong. He don't get to talk about not having no manners.
It's bad manners. Besides, I don't trust you. There's something off about you.
Huh?
Your wrists are several centimeters fatter than when I saw you at the dorm. Your pant legs are 5 millimeters shorter. Your belt is fastened one hole looser.
Little by little, your whole body is expanding.
Does he have a photographic memory?
That's very odd that you're paying attention to a lady's measurements like that, young man. You probably need to curb that back and keep that to yourself. The human body doesn't change that fast. Who are you?
Expanding? Don't be rude. Nothing's going on. I'm just a regular teaching intern.
And as soon as Sakamoto says this, his body expands again. All right, I'm back. Family was just talking to me about food, and they're getting Wendy's. It's funny how I was just talking about Wendy's earlier. They must have heard me in the other room. But as Sakamoto says, teaching intern, his whole body just starts to expand. His whole body just starts to expand all of a sudden. And Amane sees this and throws something at Sakamoto. No, he doesn't throw something at Sakamoto. He sees his chance and grabs the keys from Sakamoto and jumps off the stairway that they're at, and he just dives through the center of it with the keys. And then he takes his 3-sectional staff and he just slashes the stairs all around him while Sakamoto chases after him. And when that happens, it creates like this gate that keeps Sakamoto from chasing after him. And when he lands, Amane is gone. Kishu, I have a recommendation for you to get 100,000 subs, and trust me, it will work, and it's through prayer. Well, I've done that already. So yeah, I've done that. It's good. Now all that, yeah, I've done that already. So I've already did that, Alessio. So now it's just the waiting. But Sakamoto lands where this section of the stair railings have gated him from falling deeper down, and Amane is gone.
Whoops,
Gotta suck it in.
And Sakamoto is back to his regular size again.
Oh, my word. Now we can have people busting up the handrails. Stuff is always getting wrecked in the assassination department.
And it's that janitor.
That janitor. He's been here since I was a student.
Good morning! And then Sakamoto just bows, and we're looking at this same old janitor who was there when Sakamoto and Nagumo were attending the classes. Good morning! Sakamoto just bows.
Good morning. Brings back memories. It's been a while, Sakamoto. How's Nagumo?
The janitor knows. Never doubt the janitor. The janitor knows. This is like Ati from Control, and he knows everything that's going on in the oldest house. Always be... Also, be nice to janitors. They have it hard enough as it is. Be nice to janitors, but...
It's been quite a while. It's been quite a while, Sakamoto. How's Nagumo?
huh? How did you...
I can tell by the way you move. Besides, I've never seen a student with that face before. But your vibe is softer now. I didn't recognize you at first. Freaky. I'm glad you're back, Sakamoto.
You know that, boys?
You know that boy's strong. It's hard for him to find a playmate who can really keep up with him.
Do you know Amane well?
Of course I do. He's my grandson.
Excuse me? I'm sorry. What you mean? What you mean that's your grandson? That means your son is Mr. Yoshimoto. Oh! What you mean? What you mean? This is like finding out the janitor's the third Hokage. The grandson is Konohamaru, and finding out his son is actually Sarutobi Asuma.
What you mean? That's your grandson.
Of course. Of course I do. He's my grandson.
Huh?
See? He's got my nose and mouth. All he got from his dad are his eyes.
Really?
Amane's a good boy, isn't he? I helped raise him here at the JCC from the age of 7. I couldn't be with him much with my work and all. I worried about him growing up in this environment, but somehow he grew up with a strong North Star. So strong, in fact, sometimes I worry it'll lead him astray. Honestly, I don't know where he gets it. Well, Sakamoto, if you see Amane, tell him to stop by the janitor's room sometime.
And it cuts to a different room, and the keys that Sakamoto had, the master keys, and Amane is huffing and puffing.
Why? There's nowhere in the JCC I haven't explored. Beneath the stairs in the south building, the library, the gym, there's no sign of a database anywhere. Destroy the database within 24 hours.
These are the words of Kashima to Amane.
Shoot, if I don't find it soon.
And then we get a flashback.
Amane. Why? Dad?
And it shows Mr. Yotsumura standing over his wife, Amane's mother, and a big old pool of blood, and blood splattered across the wall. And his Yotsumura's 3-section staff is caked in blood as well. And he just glares at Amane. Then we get back to the present. Ugh. And then a phone rings, and he picks up.
Amane, the time limit is nearly up. Do you have any good news for us?
Not yet.
How unfortunate. I was looking forward to having a new colleague. But what can I do if you aren't motivated?
Please, wait. I truly want to fight alongside Slur. I want to work with you to destroy the JAA and my father. Please, just give me a little more time. I swear I'll find it.
In that case, shut down the JCC's key defensive power, its missile defense system. How about that?
What?
It's a tad aggressive, but it's more of a sure thing than a treasure hunt.
Why do you want to shut it down?
Well...
Kanaguri, why don't you want to film me?
Wonderful, wonderful! A flock of seagulls. Birds flying away signal a turning point in the story.
Oh, ignoring me? What a fun game! What a delight! My big brother and I usually don't do that.
Rats! Someone wandered into my shot. Now I have to start over!
The JCC has exceptional security, don't they? I'm looking forward to it. The pain. And Club Jam is licking his lips at the thought of being hurt.
You really are disgusting. We want to recreate the massacre at the JAA. We just want to recreate the massacre at the JAA. That's all.
They want them to shut down the defense system so they can massacre everyone at the school. Okay. And this comes as a shock to Amane.
School, huh? Yes, I can film a coming-of-age movie. Like Stand By Me.
They coming to massacre. They coming to kill everybody at the school. They coming to Kanaguri, a member of the Order, along with members of Slur. They coming to kill everybody at the school. And that's the end of chapter 85. Oh God. Oh Lord. Okay. Days 86, third rate style. We just had a chapter called Genius Style. Now we're getting third rate style. And we're back with Shin, Natsuki, and Akira.
Here. Huh? Did this glove get beefed up? You said you can see about 0.5 seconds into the future. Yeah. I've adjusted the glove's lag by 0.5 seconds. It'll be less powerful, though. What? So if I want more power, I have to read further into the future? Yeah. The more you let it build up, the more power it gains. But even now, it's much stronger than if you were barehanded.
And Shin puts on the glove and just thinks to himself.
It's almost impossible to attack that teacher. If you touch her, she uses Aikido to deflect the blow. Even if we miraculously manage to hit her, we don't have the strength to do much damage. That's where the glove comes in. Right. In other words, Akira and I will somehow create an opening before Sensei can do anything. You've got to hit in other words, Akira and I will somehow create an opening. Before Sensei can do anything, you've got to hit her with that glove.
Sorry, my inflection was wrong for those two sentences. I had to say it correctly.
But that's...
Oh, right. Akira, you can see it, can't you? That thing where you see the path to killing someone. Huh? What's he talking about? You have ESP too?
Oh, no, not me. It's more like I can see how and where to move my body to reach the enemy's vital points. It's kind of like flip animation, but...
What? I've never heard of that. Is she some kind of genius?
And this is Natsuki thinking this to himself.
When I try to see the path to Satoru-sensei, there's a chasm in the way, so I probably won't be very useful.
And Shin is silent, and then we cut back to Satora-sensei, and she's just going about her day.
Oh, dear me. I seem to have forgotten something in that last class at the gym. What did I forget? A TNT bomb I confiscated from a student? There it is.
Which, just casually saying, oh, I forgot a bomb in the gym that I confiscated. I forgot a bomb in the gym. Just so casual about it. And she looks up, and a basketball launches towards her.
Oh? I wonder who left this here.
And then the basketball explodes into confetti, kind of surprising her. And then Shin comes up behind her.
Apparently, it's a ball-shaped surprise popper.
And then he tries to hit her, but then she uses Aikido and sends this dude flying straight into the basketball goal on the other side of the gym.
Shin!
You're so light. Are you eating enough?
And Shin is upside down in the basketball hoop. He's stuck in the hoop. But then he punches the glass, the frame of the basketball goal, and he takes the hoop, and then he throws it towards Satora-sensei. She sees it, and then she just, with one finger, she not only stops it, but then she flips it around and starts spinning it on her finger. Like she didn't just... This woman, she scares me.
Such a light touch.
And then it shows someone invisible right behind Satora. And it looks like it's going to be Natsuki who's invisible, and he's taking an entire volleyball net with the pole as well, and he's going to try and hit her with it. And Shin starts rushing her from the front.
The two of you fail the test.
As she uses Aikido on both of them at the same time and launches them both into the distance. This woman... I'm going to keep reading.
Oh dear, I have to prepare for the next class.
And then she hears a scream right behind her.
Was that a girl screaming? What?
And it's the screaming bullets! The screaming bullets is in the distance, and it's Natsuki who shot it. The screen gun is surprisingly useful. And then it shows Akira, who's right above Satora-sensei, and she brings what looks to be like a racket directly onto her head. And she blocks that as well! I don't even know what to tell you guys. This woman is broken. She just casually blocks the racket, and mind you, she blocks it not on the net edge, which probably won't do much damage to a person's head. Even me, who just got my head shaved, if I got hit in the head by a racket, by the net, it wouldn't do much because it was meant to rebound and cause things to rebound, so it would just bounce off my head, and I only feel like minor sensation. But she blocks it on the rim of the racket itself with just her finger. Like, it just falls right into this space right here where her finger is, just right here. And she not only catches that, deflects it away, and grabs onto Akira's arm and goes,
"You're still green,"
and tosses her away. But when she does so, Akira also grabs her by the clothes, which is something no one else has been able to do this whole altercation. Satora feels herself being minorly pulled away because Akira managed to grab onto her clothes before she got fully flung away.
This girl.
And then Akira rights herself, and she immediately starts rushing towards Satora.
She's learning by fighting me. She's still imprecise, but she's got a rare talent for killing. Efficient pathways. She intuitively grasps the movements of killing. It's almost like playing with Rio.
And wow, this is the most Satora's been on the she's on the defensive now. It's not like a matter of just simply flipping away Akira away from her. She's actually on the defensive. So out of all the three, Akira has the greatest chance.
It's almost like playing with Rio.
Not only that, but apparently she's showing some similarities to her own aunt as well. So I like this chapter. And while Akira tries to sweep the leg, Satora jumps away from her, and Akira sees the pathway towards Satora.
But I can't let students get close to danger.
And while Satora-sensei's hair is kind of messed up just a little bit from her jumping around a whole lot, suddenly, even though she could see the pathway in front of her, Akira just sees a giant chasm just open up between her and Satora-sensei.
It's no use. I can't reach her.
And while that's happening, Shin, under the disguise and invisibility of Natsuki's own invisible suit, comes launching in right towards Satora-sensei, glove in hand.
Shin?
And it shows Natsuki. And then Shin starts thinking to himself,
"It's the same as that other time. I can't keep up with my opponent's movements. I admit it, Seba. I'm not first-rate like Mr. Sakamoto. I'll learn from watching Akira's future movements. Mind if I take this path, Akira?"
And he lands in front of Satora. Well, he's still airborne, and he's preparing to hit Satora-sensei. And Natsuki goes, "Go!" And there's a punch, and there's an impact right where Satora-sensei is supposed to be. Does he land the hit? That's the end of chapter 86. Onwards to 87. We are almost done with today's session of Sakamoto Days. Days 87, database. And we get another cover page where we have the member, we have Slur's group. We have Gaku, Kashima, Uda, who is dead because he tried to blow everyone else up, Carolina Reaper, whose name escaped me back when I was trying to remember who he even was, and of course the Weirdo Club Jam. And of course, Uzuki, aka Slur. Days 87, database. And we have Shin, who's punching, but he's being blocked by Satora-sensei. Natsuki's looking on, and then Satora-sensei has that, you know the look that Unohana gave? You know, Yachiro Unohana during the 1,000-Year Blood War for Bleach, where Shunsui was introducing her to the not the 13 court guard squads, the big high officials saying like, I'm gonna teach Kenpachi Bankai, and we saw Yachiro's we saw her hair just down, and she had like this look off to the side. I think it was actually when she was preparing to fight Kenpachi. She had this look off to the side where her eyes were like very low, and all you could see was just murder in her eyes. Same look with Satora. Same look. And not only does she block Shin's attempt at hitting her, but she grabs him by the shirt, brings his arm forward, and then flips him and sends him flying to the other side of the gym. And mind you, they're in the middle of the gym. You know how big gyms are? Gyms are big. Every gym, most gyms that you see out there are huge. And she just sends him flying all the way to the other end.
It's no use.
Shin!
But it shows Satora's arm mildly shaking a little bit, just a little bit.
These kids, they've come a long way in such a short time. How dedicated of them.
And she starts tearing up. She's actually been impressed.
Huh? What's up?
Does she have allergies?
Why, in spite of their tender years, I got carried away and nearly killed them.
Such a casual thing to think. She got so swept up in it, she almost killed them. And Shin, being able to read minds, understands just how close to death he was.
Sensei? I'm sorry. Did we hurt you?
Akira, back away.
Well, aren't you a good girl? Wonderful. You each made use of your strengths and combined them beautifully. But you still have a long way to go. Seba.
Yes?
That invisibility suit of yours doesn't conceal sound or your physical presence. How will you handle a target who doesn't rely on vision? That needs improvement.
You got lectured.
Give me back my invisibility suit. I'll never lend it to you again.
Akira, that's your name, isn't it?
Yes.
You have incredible eyes. You see the route to your target very accurately.
Thank you. She praised me.
But you can't progress on talent alone. If you just rush in whenever there's an opening, you'll find yourself in danger. It's the same in sports. The players with the sharpest attention are frequently fooled by feints.
I get it. Sensei created that pathway on purpose.
Still, that courage to jump right in was wonderful. Keep at it.
I will. She praised me again.
As for you, Shin, your kind dies young.
And she grabs onto Shin's arm that has the glove on it.
Ow!
You're willing to pay any price for great power. You shouldn't use things like this. They're like drugs. Now, why are you in such a hurry?
Because I know I'm not talented or strong enough. But that's my problem. The enemy won't wait for me to get strong. I have to use whatever I can.
And then Satoda closes her eyes, and she places Shin's arm down, and then all of a sudden, Shin's arm starts moving on his own before he's even thinking, and a fist goes straight towards Satoda.
Huh? My body's reacting reflexively. Hey!
And as he goes to punch, Satoda's already I honestly thought she was going to let him punch her as a way of saying, like, you've progressed far enough. I'll let you get this one hit in. But no, she just gracefully moves around and teaches him how to properly move.
With your hips as your axis, use a circular motion to deflect an attack. That way, your core will be stable like a spitting top, and it'll be easier to counter. It's called the rotation principle. If you can determine the direction of the attacking energy, then strength, muscles, and gender won't matter.
Seriously, if you can understand the nature of the attack, then you can use the very nature of that attack to deflect it away, which is why she's been so effortless with it. So effortless. Steven Seagal wishes his Aikido skills were this good.
Well, you students have put in great effort. I suppose I should answer your question.
You mean?
Database is a certain person's nickname.
Nickname?
Yes, more precisely, a classmate of mine with perpetual natural memory.
The database is a person! Hold up! The database is a person who has remembered everything at the JCC!
Yes, more precisely, a classmate of mine with perpetual natural memory. He still works with me. Here,
it's the janitor! I knew it was the janitor, because the only person I could think of that was that old at that school that just got brought up is the janitor. It's the janitor. It's the janitor. It's the janitor. He's the database. He's the database. I told you. Oh, be nice to your janitors. Be nice to your janitors.
He still works with me here at the school.
And it's the janitor. And he walks right up to his grandson, Amane. Oh, Grandpa. You fool! And he smashes, he just bashes in the head of his grandson. Ow! What was that for?
Your teacher told me you haven't been showing up for classes.
And his grandfather is livid. That's 782 times you've hit me on the head. And he has a comically large bump on the back of his head, too. I'll report you to the PTA and have you fired.
You mean 783 times. I remember all the dates, too.
And then Amane's just looking blankly. Is that what you came here to tell me?
Do you think I don't know?
Huh?
You've been supporting a shady assassin group recently. I don't want you associating with them.
He knows everything. He's Ati from Control. He knows everything.
I know you hate the JAA because of your dad. You don't have to become an assassin. You can get a regular job.
Grandpa, aren't you angry that your own daughter was killed? Yotsumura is not his son. Yotsumura is his son-in-law. I've been wrong! I've been wrong! This whole time! I thought Yotsumura was his son! And, it was his son-in-law! It was his son-in-law! Aren't you angry that your own daughter was killed? I won't be satisfied until I kill him with my own hands.
Amane, you were running away from a cute teacher in training just now. Do you really think you're such hot stuff? As your grandfather, I'm embarrassed.
You were watching?
Well, it's no wonder you didn't stand a chance.
You know that teacher?
Yep, ever since they were a student. Of the 38,764 students I've seen, that student was the best fighter by far.
This dude has perpetual memory of 38,000 people. And he remembers them vividly. That's insane.
Just remember one thing, Amane. No matter what happens, I'm always on your side.
Oh, that's so wholesome. This janitor scares me as well. He scares me as well.
If something's troubling you, you can always talk to me or your teachers.
And then Amane is thinking back to what Kashima said about recreate the massacre at the JAA. That's all. So the massacre that happened at the JAA building when they tried to show up earlier, they want to recreate that for the school.
Recreate the massacre at the JAA. That's all.
And Amane is thinking of his students.
Amane, about our request to shut down the JCC security system. Have you thought about it?
I'll do it, on one condition. Promise me you won't hurt the students and teachers. Amane, he just said that they want to recreate the massacre at the JAA. You asking them to not harm the students and teachers would mean that they won't be able to recreate the massacre at the JAA, which is what they want to do, and the sheer purpose of you turning off the defense system. He's not bright. Bruh needs to actually attend them classes. Promise me you won't hurt the students and teachers.
What?
Your goal is to destroy the database and erase all records of the boss, right? Not to massacre everyone.
Yes, I'd prefer to settle things peacefully if possible. I accept your condition. We'll talk again soon.
And Kashima is in presence of Carolina Reaper, Gaku, and Slur himself.
Any security system one kid can take out is garbage.
Even the strongest locks are easy to break from the inside. Besides, the JCC is super soft on good students. It always ticked me off.
The best students have privileges to enter various buildings.
So that's why we needed a nerd, huh?
And then it cuts to Amane, who has his 3-section staff, and he's making his way to the central control office, which is a security room. And he has a pass in his hand. And then all of a sudden, a siren goes off across the entire school. Code 37564! Codes 37564! The security system has been forced to shut down! And everyone hears this. Mind you, Shin, Akira, and Natsuki are still there with Satoda sensei. Sakamoto hears this. System recovery in 10 seconds! And then Slur goes,
Now, time to erase some memories.
To be continued. That's the end of chapter 87. Onwards to chapter 88 and the final chapter for today's reading. Days 88. Clap. And Amane is standing in the control room, and he's knocked out the security that was in the room.
I'm in the control room. Go ahead and shut off the security system. Our comrades who specialize in search operations are standing by near JCC airspace. They will proceed to destroy the database. Now you are an official member of our group.
So here's the thing, and it didn't dawn on me until just now. Destroying the database means destroying the one person that Amane actually cares for, which is his grandfather. So I don't think he's put 2 and 2 together that his grandfather's the database, because his grandfather was dropping a whole bunch of hints, like out of the 38,764 students, or 784 students, or however big a number that was, I forgot. It didn't put 2 and 2 together for him to realize, like, my grandfather knows a lot. He knows about all these students. Yeah, okay, there we go. Sorry about that. Kind of faltered a little bit. My grandpa knows about all these students. He knows about every single one. My grandfather knows a lot. It's almost like he's a walking database. Oh. They're gonna kill my grandpa! So at some point, that realization is gonna hit home, and now he's gonna realize I've joined people who are trying to kill my one and only family.
Yeah. Our comrades who specialize in search operations are standing by near JCC airspace. They will proceed to destroy the database. Now, you're an official member of our group.
And Amane goes to slash the controls, but he gets stopped by Sakamoto.
I can't let this happen. You were talking about destroying the database.
Please, don't get in my way. Who are you anyway?
Are you selling out the JCC? Are you selling the JCC out to Slur?
What do you know? I have no other choice!
I get it. When you go through a rebellious phase, you think doing bad stuff is cool. I don't know what I'll do if Hannah ever goes through that.
Huh? No! I'm trying... My father!
She wasn't listening at all!
The JCC has nothing to do with your father. Do you want people you care about to get hurt?
Of course not!
Are you Taro Sakamoto's wife? What are you doing here?
Because Kashima's still on the phone.
Don't mess with this kid, Kashima. If you show your face here, you'll get no mercy from me.
Her vibe. This woman's really fierce. Well, she's Sakamoto's wife, after all. Amane, don't trust this woman. Her husband's a psycho killer who enjoys hurting people on trains.
Oh, dude, still salty that he got manhandled by Sakamoto all those volumes ago.
That was because you wouldn't give up the seat preserved for disabled people.
And that's the reason why he beat up Kashima in the first place.
Amane, I don't know what kind of deal you've struck with these people, but these guys treated my daughter as leverage. Don't trust them.
Revolution requires some sacrifices. You and your husband don't see the big picture.
Wait, is that how you think of the JCC too? Kashima's silent. You promised not to hurt anyone. I'm not helping you if you're gonna hurt people at the school.
I see. You're still a child. You take it from here, Club Jam.
And then the screen switches over to Club Jam, and Club Jam's in front of the screen. And then Club Jam just claps his hands and goes, clap. And then something happens. And then something happens to Amane.
I told you, Mr. Kashima. I have matters well in hand. Remember?
And then it shows Amane preparing to swipe. He's been hypnotized. He's been hypnosed. He's been fooled. He's been flabbergasted in the mind. And he just goes to try and attack Sakamoto.
Back to the present.
The security system has been restored. Oh, wait. Bruh, this was a whole flashback. It didn't even dawn on me that this was a flashback that just happened, because I saw the black borders around around the panels and everything, but it didn't mentally click up here. But that was a whole flashback, and now we're in the present.
What was that?
The alarm went off for about 10 seconds.
A security malfunction.
And Satora seems to know that something is definitely wrong. What happened? Security went down. Freaky!
All right, class, quiet.
Sensei, there might be intruders on campus.
The system was only down for 10 seconds. Nobody could have invaded campus.
Boys are so stupid.
Yeah, be quiet, Yamada. You're disrupting the students who are trying to learn. Kanaguri's in the classroom! Kanaguri's in the classroom!
My name's Yabuuchi.
You're an extra. Your name doesn't matter. Now pipe down. I want to get candid footage of the class.
Put the camera away during class.
No. then report to the staff room after class. Hey, doesn't that guy look like the director from Murder Films? What's his name? Oh ho, you've seen my work. You've got good taste. I'll put your name in the end credits. Let me see that. And the teacher walks up to this teacher's about to die. This teacher's about to die. I haven't even turned the page yet. This teacher's about to die. He's about to die, because remember, Kanaguri's got that razor-sharp clapperboard. Let me see that. And he tries to take Kanaguri's camera. I knew it. He killed him. He killed the teacher. He killed the teacher. I'm sorry. I know I feel like I'm being a little bit extra, but I'm invested in this story right now. You'll have to forgive me. This is just how I do things. And with the clapperboard, he slices not only through the head of the teacher, but also through part of his book in that instant. Cut. Ow. And the teacher still has brain activity to say ow, even after he's been decapitated. It's probably his last words, though. And everyone is just looking. Now I've done it. With no teacher, I can't get the classroom footage I wanted. And then everyone promptly responds by screaming their heads off. Ah! Fate! Calm down, everyone! I'll be your teacher. Expression in a movie is all in the details. The posture of an extra, the positioning of a prop. These things alter the realism on the screen. Creating that kind of vivid world is what makes the depiction of uncommon action effective. Everyone is scared. Everyone is scared to do anything because they just witnessed this man casually kill their teacher in an instant. You're all too stiff. That makes the scene unnatural. And something comes in and knocks Kanaguri into the nearby wall. Something just bursts into the classroom and just knocks Kanaguri into a wall. Minutes. Intruder detected in Lecture Hall 12. It's been a while since we've seen real action. Make me look good in front of the students. There's a teacher with a bazooka. Someone just shot Kanaguri with a bazooka. Literally got a big old RPG on her shoulder. And there's another teacher with a scar going down and then across his face a little bit. And Kanaguri is just standing there in a crater, in the impact crater from where he got hit into the wall, as if he didn't just get shot with a bazooka. What are these people made of? What are they made of? Noda never suspected that those would be his last words. My name's Inoue. And then it cuts to Sakamoto with Amane back in the present.
Are you okay? Why did you cut the security?
I don't know. After that guy on the screen clapped his hands, my memory. I may have brought some terrible people here.
Don't panic. He's after the database, right? He'll prioritize information over massacre for now.
Is the database really? And then Shin shows up.
Mr. Sakamoto, I've been looking for you.
Shin.
I have news to report.
That beautiful teacher in training is Mr. Sakamoto?
It's a disguise. I'll explain later.
But what about the principles of physical matter?
What's the news?
I've identified the database. It's the nickname of a janitor who's worked at this school for a long time.
What? And Sakamoto starts to sweat.
He's got a crazy memory. He remembers every detail about every student he's ever met.
Remember what I just said?
It's data that can't be destroyed or lost. Why don't we go find him and see if he's got anything on Slur?
And Amane starts sweating.
Huh? What's wrong?
This is heavy.
My grandpa. What'll I do? It's all my fault. If I don't do something, Grandpa will be...
It's okay. Leave it to us.
And Sakamoto, still looking like Aoi, starts to crack his shoulder, because you know when he cracks his shoulder, it's about to go down!
Leave it to us. Anyone who causes trouble on campus gets expelled.
You
Of the 38,764 students I've seen.
So I was right the first time when I was trying to remember. It's 764. Did I say 754? I might have said 754 or 784. I might have been right. I can't remember. I'm sorry.
Of the 38,764 students I've seen, that student was the best fighter by far.
Please save the JCC and my grandpa. Then we have Kanaguri, who is already massacred the other teacher.
You're all simply unsalvageable. A mere teacher stands no chance against a movie director. And the cast has completely shrunk. I can't shoot like this. I've got to find my next theme.
And as Kanaguri walks into the hallway, who is standing in the hallway staring him down but Satoda-sensei? Yo!
Alright. Let's go with Japanese horror.
We're about to get Kanaguri versus Satoda-sensei, the very person who established the requirement for Aikido across all assassins in the history of assassins. We're about to have Satoda-sensei versus Kanaguri of the Order. Well, can we count him as among the Order since he's technically working with Slur right now? He's pretty much a double agent. He's a mole. But, yeah, that's the person that's standing face to face with Kanaguri. Bruh, and that's the end of the chapter, and that's the end for today's reading. Ladies and gentlemen, when I tell you this story's got me invested! This story's got me invested. Oh, this is getting good. This is getting really good. This is even better than the JAA massacre when Takamura was going up against Gaku, and we had Sakamoto going up against Slur during that short period. This is already great. I can't wait to see how everything goes down. And just like I said, Amane came to that realization like, oh no, the database. Oh no, this person knows a lot. Oh no, that database is my grandfather. And it went down just like I thought it would. I'm invested in this story. Ladies and gentlemen, this has been my dramatic reading of Sakamoto Days Volume 10. I love this story already. I know there's so many more chapters that I gotta get to, and I'm getting closer and closer to reaching the hundreds. And once I'm done catching up on everything, then Sakamoto Days will move to Sundays, taking the place of where My Hero Academia used to be. And then I gotta deal with the fact that JJK is about to end in 5 chapters as well, so there's that. So we'll cross that bridge when we get to it. But ladies and gentlemen, this has been my live reading of Sakamoto Days Volume 10. All I can say to you is, hope you all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video and the start of my Black Myth Wukong series tomorrow at 12:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am... let me see if I did this right. Hope y'all enjoyed. Sometimes I be messing up my own outro. You understand that I be messing it up because I be trying to insert different things. But yes, I'm doing my Black Myth Wukong playthrough series starting tomorrow. And I'm going to be playing that every day I get the chance until I roll credits, where we're going to take our time with it and enjoy what Game Science has done. But yes, hope y'all enjoyed. Can't wait to see you all in my next video. Like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't already, because I am always looking forward to entertaining you. So have a fantastic day, and once again, as always, later, peoples!